standing up for player safety. By fantastic, I mean they're hiding under their desks, praying the ratings don't drop if Clark decides to play overseas next season, where, rumor has it, basketball is actually played with, get this, rules. And let's talk about the league's leadership one more time, shall we? Where is the WNBA commissioner? On vacation? Meditating in a soundproof tank? Because while Caitlin Clark is out here being treated like she's trying to cross enemy lines, the top brass is missing in action. If you listen closely, you can actually hear the silence of leadership in Dolby Atmos. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Well, she asked for it. She's popular. Oh, okay, so being famous means it's open season? That's the logic now? Better tell Beyoncé to watch out for elbow drops at her next concert. Clark didn't crown herself the face of the WNBA. The league did. The networks did. The fans did. And now she's being treated like she tried to cheat on American gladiators. She's become the Hunger Games tribute of women's basketball. WNBA just turned into a daytime soap opera written by Twitter. Because now Jameli Hill is throwing around the R word like it's a no-look pass. And Caitlin Clark somehow ended up as the villain in a story featuring leaked footage, side eyes, and Ryan Howard ready to square up. Is it basketball or a Bravo reunion? Brace yourselves, because this drama has more twists than a crossover in overtime.
One thing I don't understand is that, like, there is some kind of flimsy evidence, I guess. Like, we're not lip readers. We're not lip readers. She probably says trash. Like, it sounds like she has said. It looks like what it apparently says is effing white.
But let's pause here and address the absolutely bonkers reality we're all living in. Caitlin Clark might be the only person on earth who can score 30 points and still get blamed for breathing too loudly near another player. And let's talk about the coaching, because if you think this is just players going rogue with WWE moves, character development, you mean being elbowed in the kidneys every other possession and being guarded like she stole someone's lunch money. But don't worry, this isn't about race. Except, wait, now it kind of is, because Hill strongly hinted that Clark's popularity and the protectiveness around her might have undertones, racial ones. Because obviously the only reason people are concerned that Clark is getting mugged mid-dribble is because she's white. Not because she's, say, the face of a league that desperately needs eyeballs and is being tackled like a running back every night. Of course, Hill fans applauded her take, nodding along like she just cured WNBA Twitter of its collective sinus infection. Meanwhile, actual sports fans, who have watched Clark get harassed like she's a mosquito at a barbecue, started questioning if Hill was watching the same league or just throwing darts at hot takes written in crayon.
I have to talk about this. The post from Brittany Griner and
us. Episode 9 of Who Assaulted Caitlin Clark Today premieres next week, sponsored by Advil, bandages, and blind referees. Stay tuned. Or don't. Because if this keeps up, Caitlin might be tuning out for all of us. And here we are, folks, smack dab in the center of what appears to be the WNBA's version of a political thriller, complete with locker room espionage, sideline surveillance, and a superstar being hunted like she's the last golden goose at a bankrupt's farm. Except this time, the goose talks back, drains threes from the logo, and is apparently guilty of existing too loudly. Now let's just be clear, this whole thing has gone from basketball to bizarre faster than a technical foul on a bad call. We're not even pretending anymore. Somewhere between Caitlin Clark's jump shot and Ryan Howard's defensive death stare, this stopped being about the game and turned into a Shakespearean drama about race, status, power, and whether or not a rookie is allowed to dribble in peace without catching a flying forearm to the solar plexus. Because apparently, if Caitlin Clark so much as breathes too hard near a defender, the WNBA transforms into a gladiator pit. But when she claps back with some spicy sideline energy, oh no, now it's a racial controversy? Suddenly, we've got PhDs in sociology logging into Twitter to diagnose microaggressions between oh goody. Just when you thought the WNBA couldn't squeeze one more drop of drama out of Caitlin Clark's rookie season without it exploding like a soda can in a microwave, here comes the 4K ultra-high-definition gladiator cage match between Indiana Fever's star attraction and Atlanta Dream, used as a punching bag for every frustrated guard with a chip on her shoulder and a Twitter beef to settle. The saddest part of all? I can't even imagine this is fun for her anymore. Every game feels like it's just a countdown to the next incident, the next altercation, the next ridiculous hot take about how she brings it on herself. It's absurd. The players are acting like they're being paid per shove. The coaches are acting like Sun Tzu wrote their playbook. And the league is acting like it'll all just sort itself out once the playoffs roll around. Newsflash, it won't. Not unless the WNBA grows a spine, disciplines the nonsense, and starts treating its stars like assets instead of cannon fodder. Ryan Howard. Because apparently, no one plays basketball anymore. It's just low-budget Game of Thrones in gym shorts. Jemele Hill, swinging her trademark hammer of hot takes with all the subtlety of a wrecking ball in a china shop. According to her, this is all just sports. Just healthy competition. Nothing to see here. Move along. Keep your hands and logic inside the ride. Except here's the thing. When every other game ends with Caitlyn getting bumped, bashed, barked at, and borderline body slammed, it's not competition anymore. It's a scavenger hunt for her ACL. Now let's pivot to the real tragedy in all this. Who on earth still thinks this is fun for Caitlyn Clark? She came into the league with the promise of changing women's basketball, and instead she's been handed a front row seat to a full-blown hazing ritual. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if her welcome gift from the league office was a Kevlar vest and a waiver form, because let's be real, this isn't just physical defense, it's targeted warfare. Some of these teams are treating guarding Caitlyn Clark like it's a quest from Game of Thrones. Defeat the chosen one and inherit the throne of relevance. Coaches are drawing up defensive plays like CIA. You sweep the leg, you block her with your entire body weight. Think again. Some of these coaches are drawing up plays like, okay, Amber, you full court press her until she questions her life choices. Jada, I want you to accidentally hip check her into the third row. And Megan, you're on eyebrow duty. Intimidating scowls only. The strategy is simple. If you shut down Caitlyn Clark, you shut down the whole Indiana Fever, and maybe, just maybe, you get 5 seconds on SportsCenter before they cut back to LeBron's summer workout montage. But let's be clear. This isn't tough defense. This is an exorcism disguised as a basketball game. You've got players swiping at her like she's a mosquito in July. 1 minute she's dribbling up the court, and the next she's tangled in someone's limbs like it's a scene from Mission Impossible, Elbow Protocol.
Quarters. Well, guess what? One of the master race baiters from the world of sports, if you still want to say she's involved in the world of sports, is back at it again. I'm talking about Jemele Hill, who is one of the integral reasons why Around the Horn no longer exists.
In Chicago, that gets fewer views than a cooking tutorial for toast. And look, this isn't about protecting Clark because she's a princess. It's about not normalizing assault as a defensive tactic. This isn't hockey. You don't need to fight someone every time they hit a...
On ESPN.
The latest episode of Let's See Who Can Body Slam Caitlyn Clark Without Getting Ejected aired live from a hardwood floor somewhere in America, and the internet, ever the voice of calm and reason, decided to host a civil, thoughtful discussion about it. Just kidding. They lit it on fire and tossed it into a volcano.
One person that's been definitely weighing in on this Caitlyn Clark drama has been Jemele Hill. This is season 2 of Caitlyn Clark.
That this let's beat her into submission strategy is probably the dumbest idea since someone decided to reboot Cats. You think it's going to work long term? Spoiler alert, it won't. Because if Caitlyn Clark gets injured or worse, walks away, then congratulations, you just lost your golden goose and handed her to the Euro League, where she'll be scoring 50 points per game while sipping espresso and being defended with like actual basketball skills. And here's the part the WNBA should really worry about. Clark takes millions of fans with her. The same fans who finally found the WNBA interesting, engaging, and marketable. The same fans who bought tickets, jerseys, and ESPN Plus subscriptions just to watch her get body slammed like it's WrestleMania Rookie Edition. If she walks, it's not just a player leaving, it's a mass exodus. The WNBA will be left wondering where all the cameras went while trying to promote a double overtime nail-biter between Connecticut
Fever, and now we have a new Jemele Hill rant. She is one person that's been pretty vocal about everything. The Angel Reese situation, now this Ryan Howard thing, which I thought was not a big deal whatsoever. Reported on it yesterday. She did kind of get into Caitlyn Clark's head, kind of psyched her out. I believe that's why Caitlyn Clark played so bad. But some new footage has emerged of the incident.
So what happened this time? Oh, just a casual sideline encounter where Ryan Howard decided to go full Secret Service detail on Caitlyn, pressing her like she was trying to get state secrets out of her. And then came the now infamous line caught on mic, Or possibly just lip-read by 47 million internet sleuths and their cats. I'm not scared of you and you in Atlanta when it's actually a mugging. But the cherry on this flaming Sunday, Jemele Hill retweeting the video and lecturing everyone like she's the WNBA's Supreme Court. She's basically telling fans, calm down, peasants. This is how competition works. It's not targeted, it's not excessive. It's just spirited aggression wrapped in a hug of animosity. Meanwhile, Clark is out there getting cross-checked like she owes someone child support. But don't worry, it's just intensity. You want to know what's not just basketball? Repeatedly targeting the league's most marketable player like she's wearing a jersey that says, "Please tackle me, I enjoy it." If Caitlin Clark were a Disney princess, every other player would be the evil stepsister trying to steal her shoes and push her down the stairs.
But it was a rough night for Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Last night, she only scored 3 points in a blowout loss to the New York Liberty. But it was a game on Saturday between the Fever and the Chicago Sky that had a lot of people talking. Fans were so hyped for Caitlin, Angel Reese, and Camila Cardoso to all be back on the same court. However, the moment that made headlines, this right here, the hard foul involving Clark and Kennedy.
And the WNBA leadership? Oh, they're doing a fantastic job. The occasional psychological warfare.
We're going to be talking about something that was an interesting one. It was a really, really interesting one, and it was the kind of interactions between Ryan Howard and Caitlin Clark. And if we're going to be honest, Ryan Howard 100% got the better. Ryan Howard, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, got the better of Caitlin Clark today on both ends of the floor. But these were some hilarious responses. So Caitlin Clark and Ryan Howard get into it here. So Ryan Howard he was fouling Caitlin Clark the whole game, and is going into Caitlin Clark coming back to Ryan Howard. "I'm not scared of you."
Apparently, Caitlin Clark isn't being targeted. She's just experiencing character development. Sure, if by character, and yet somehow every time a player body checks her into next week, the media responds with a resounding, "Meh, that's just basketball." Really? Because I played basketball, and at no point did I have to consider wearing a mouthguard to prevent biting my own tongue during a headlock. The whole thing has gotten so bad that Caitlin probably checks under her bed for defenders before she sleeps. Let's not forget the Kennedy Carter incident, because nothing screams normal basketball contact like walking into someone's back at the speed of sound for no reason other than pure hostility. It wasn't defense, it was pent-up Twitter rage, the musical. And now it's Ryan Howard's turn. Another episode, another chapter in how to pretend this is just hustle